30 seconds.
Ask her what the iPad login is.
Don't worry about it, we're on our time.
30 seconds. Less than that. It's more like 20 now. 20.
There's a sticker on the iPad, but that's what they put in and it didn't work.
15.
15. 10.
10.
9. 8. 7. Track red. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Roll it.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Track the anchors, rolling A.
Mary County Sheriff's Office celebrates the county's 175th anniversary.
Flash, rolling B.
A bumpy road is
Ready,
causing a debate on whether or not to keep it closed or possibly rebuild it.
Dissolve.
The road is a portion of the County Road 2082,
package out of
but
A.
the push is to ultimately close it. The reason being the road's dangerous conditions. That's our top story. I'm Clarissa Miranda.
Tracker a little higher.
Christina Schuler, WUFT's Arne Holcomb spoke to frustrated residents who believe the road is too dangerous to drive.
Roll a take. Alright, boxes
Some
are
Rochelle residents traveling to their home on this
one.
particular road are in for a bumpy ride. So bumpy that residents like Chip Harris have to take an entire different route to get around.
That portion is still better than the rattle trap that the other side has.
That so-called rattle trap is County Road 2082.
As you can see, the size of these potholes are about twice as big as your car tire. Imagine the type of damage that could cause to your car.
But members of the Alachua Conservation Trust say there's more hazard that come with the road than just car damage.
The road is very vulnerable to being flooded and to being washed out by heavy rain, and one of the reasons it's in such bad shape is it gets washed out by floods.
I wasn't expecting the cutaway.
So trying to maintain a road under those conditions is extremely expensive.
And with the proximity of the trees to the pavement, it seems like it's always going to be a problem.
Those potential damages are part of the reason the county is considering closing the road down for good.
I think closing the road is a short-sighted measure.
Non-standard?
I don't think, I don't think the county's heart is in it to maintain a road that's this far out of town.
Other options include chip sealing the road, which would cost an estimated $65,000 and would have to be done again in 10 years.
It just doesn't make any sense to spend a lot of money trying to keep the road open when it only takes an extra 2 minutes to drive here.
I would like to see someone actually pave the road.
Yeah.
Not chip set it, not do what I would call a half way of doing things.
If the road is closed, the county plans on restoring the area by laying grass in place of the road.
It'll never get back to its natural state unless they excavate several feet down to get rid of all the debris that's there. And then you've got what? You've got a curved grassy plain.
Track Christina?
What's the point?
Take.
As of now, the plan to close the road is not set in stone. That decision will come in April at a public hearing meeting.
Take. Ready, V
Look
out
at
of
these
B.
communication policies. Here's the question. It follows an incident last year in which officers had to write up a case involving people who did not speak English or Spanish.
Will we take?
When officers approached the victim, they could not communicate in her native tongue. Now, city leaders are trying to rectify the issues that arose from that case by focusing on the treatment of immigrants and Gainesville police policy. The Gainesville Hispanic Alliance is also trying to request specific changes, like victims being provided a professional translator and not being asked their country of origin, legal status, or ethnicity.
Roll take.
Concerned about the safety of
non-English
speakers in our community, and also we are concerned that we are not sending a message of safety and inclusivity, which we need in a welcoming community.
The Alliance and City say they have a common goal: safety.
Take.
Gainesville will hold a meeting to discuss the topic on April 11th. A bill pending in the legislature would ensure local police agencies and county jails cooperate more with ICE. As drafted, it would not target victims and witnesses as long as they are cooperating in the justice process for suspects.
Take.
President Donald Trump visited Lake Okeechobee and the Herbert Hoover Dike today after arriving last night in West Palm Beach.
Will we take?
The visit was to view the work on what's being done on the dike in order to improve water quality in South Florida. Repairs are scheduled for 2020 with funding coming from the Trump administration and the state. He also toured areas where blue algae have already begun to grow. One of the issues regarding the lake was its flow and discharges were blamed for contributing algae blooms. Last year, that negatively affected the state. Critics of the president say the administration fell short in the amount of funds proposed for Everglades restoration.
Close the check.
Gainesville officials are working to reopen the Dobbs Center. The center closed in 2017 because of damage caused by Hurricane Irma. Stormwater carried contaminated soil into the building. In March of 2018, the U.S. Department of Labor stated the facility would reopen with relatively few changes. However, in September of 2018, Gainesville officials learned the federal government had no plans to reopen the center. Gainesville City Commissioner Harvey Ward says reopening the facility remains a priority.
We're just, as a city and as a city commission, very interested in reopening because, again, it's 100 jobs. And it's also a part of a growing industrial center.
Ward says ask Gainesville residents to call Congressman Yoho and Senators Rubio and Scott to show support for the center's reopening.
Marion County is celebrating its 175th anniversary.
A day of fun tomorrow will end with a concert and fireworks. WFT's Valerie Lyons checked out some of today's events.
Some people have already caught the spirit of 1844. The Sheriff's Office was one center of attention today as people gathered for history tours. And the Sheriff himself is a good source for local knowledge.
From petticoats to bowler hats, the Marion County Sheriff's Office felt like a place out of time. For the county's 175th anniversary, current and former sheriff's employees dressed in costume to give residents a tour. The Sheriff's Office was founded around the same time the county was in 1844, a year before Florida became a state. Sheriff Billy Woods is a fifth-generation local resident.
It has changed. There are roads out here that I remember were nothing but dirt roads. They're now 4-lane highways. A lot of people don't even know about the airport. It used to be on State Road 200 where Target is.
His father didn't have the luxury of highways and cars growing up.
He always talks about stories how he rode his horse to school when he came in.
Horses like these pulling Marion County's very own stagecoach.
If you give them about an inch like that, and then if I pull on it, that's how fast
I would hold off on it though because we don't see him.
David Helmuth's 1850 stagecoach was restored in 2009.
The stagecoach is a magnet, and we try to help every horse breed, every person, every business. If they can get something out of this, that's what we're here for.
Just as the stagecoach represents the past, the sheriff's helicopter represents modern times.
Whatever it's called.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office helicopter, known as Air 1, helps patrol deputies down on the ground with suspect searches and sometimes missing persons.
The county first went airborne after the Vietnam War.
The unit started with surplus military equipment. We've continued that tradition all the way up to today with our latest Bell 407 multi-mission aircraft that we utilize for law enforcement and any other mission being necessary within the county.
From 1844 to 2019, Sheriff Wood says Marion County is 175 years strong.
It has changed, but I think it's changed for good, and it has just... That's history.
The family celebration tomorrow will be at the governmental complex from 10 to 4. In the evening, head to Veterans Park for the band concert and fireworks.
At the county administration building today, Marion County unveiled a new horse statue to celebrate the occasion. The statue named Marion is featured in the newly renovated courtyard of the county building. The artwork embraces two of Marion County's signature themes, the home of the horse farms and beautiful springs.
Those are flourishing in South Florida and an outbreak last weekend in Palm Beach Gardens.
Once imported to eat bugs in sugarcane fields, they're now an invasive poisonous species. Matt Cerna joins us live from the UF Newsroom talking to experts about the problem.
When they slowly migrate north, and you certainly want to be aware of taking your dog on a trip south. Experts say there are serious threats to pets.
They are about the size of your hand and abundant in South Florida in the spring and summer. An encounter with a cane toad can poison a dog that nips at one.
A toxin, a poison, a thick, viscous, creamy white toxin that is housed in these two large glands, one on each shoulder, and there's a lot of different ducts that allow the poison to come out mainly when it's under pressure.
Cane toads are an invasive species to Florida, which can ruin a dog's day, like Loki here. So, for other owners, please be wary of where you walk your dog moving forward. Andrew Green has owned Loki for 3 years and was unaware of the cane toad.
I wouldn't want my dog to be biting a cane toad because that's just extremely dangerous and I'd be scared for my dog's health.
The toxin is not considered deadly to humans, but would be painful if you touch one and any residue gets in your eyes and mouth. The same can't be said if a toad is eaten by your pet.
Yeah, depending on the size of the animal, how much of the toxin it gets into its mouth, or if it eats the toad and ingests it, it's gonna vary depending on the size of the toad and the size of the animal and how much the animal gets. But it potentially could be lethal.
Symptoms would include extremely red gums, head shaking, crying, loss of coordination, and sometimes convulsions. Apart from keeping your dog on a short leash, Johnson says you should always secure your pet food. Don't leave your pet's food out at night, and turn off outside lights, which attract insects and toads.
If you see those symptoms, first aid is to flush away excess toxins before heading to the vet. Johnson recommends wiping your dog's mouth with a wet rag, then hosing its mouth for 10 minutes while keeping its head pointing down. Matt Cerna, WUFT News.
A University of Florida-based group is targeting leaders as part of its push for responsible investing. That group, Divest US, is specifically focused on bringing attention to the environmental and social issues. Students rallied outside U.S. Emerson Hall just before trustees met inside. They held signs and raised opinions about UF agreeing to review investments with an eye on avoiding fossil fuels, private prisons, and labor abuse. One student says the university could be a first among SEC schools.
We all love UF leaders, but like the mission statement that they have needs to be more than just words. There needs to be action behind upholding that mission.
UF's investment auxiliary controls some funds directly, which can change fairly quickly. The university will also start looking for the managers of other funds to make similar commitments. Coming up on WUFT News First at 5, students at Shell Elementary were surprised with a sweet treat.
Flash. People are dancing for 26.2 hours, that is. Dance Marathon's 25th anniversary is here. Those stories and more coming up after the break.
This weekend's temperatures will be warm. Get ready for a beautiful weekend, but showers on the way next week. I'll time those up coming up.
Cool weather. Bring up your music. Ready, black, and silence in 3, 2, 1. Dissolve.
All right. So.
All right.
2:30. You're clear.
2:30. Thank you. All right. Now. Yeah. Boxes 07. Go ahead and put entertainment in the monitor. Router 1. Camera 3 and router 1. Router 1, can you tilt down some? Oh yeah, okay, so cameras B13, B14, B15 are dead. That's SNL and the specialty chat out.
Landis ready?
Move the next down just around saying.
Oh yeah, thank you.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I liked it. Nothing. I'd really love to.
Did you want anything in the monitor?
How did we do? I know I didn't roll 2 videos, but everything else is fine. Okay. Okay, cool.
Do you want anything in the thing, or is it just entertainment all the way?
In what? What are you saying?
1 minute 30.
No, it's just entertainment.
I told him, I was like, I love this. Even if there weren't like.
That was 1:30, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It might just back. I'm not gonna watch that.
Hey, Kirby.
Yes.
Remember, we have Mr. Philip Carson doing audio cues block. So
Oh, hello, Philip Carson.
So I need you to make sure that your audio cues are more accurate, please.
Okay, yeah.
Ready to ruin the show.
No, I believe in you.
1 minute.
All right, 1 minute.
You got this, Phil. We're all about it.
Camera 3, can you truck right? See if you can. Yeah, just slightly, just so we can make that adjustment. All right, and hold. That's good. That's good.
Oh, we have.
This is ME1, correct? Okay, good.
Oh, okay, never mind. We have one in there.
Camera 3. Who's camera 3? I'm sorry. Who are you?
Camera 3?
Camera 3 is Clarissa?
Clarissa, yes.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, nothing's different here, right?
30 seconds.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
I just wanted to. No, it's okay.
15.
15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, track red, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll it.
You're watching
And track Clarissa.
TV News.
Spring break is now in full swing for Alachua County Public Schools, but one school in the city of Alachua had a lot of fun today, even before the bell rang for vacation.
And track newsroom, squeeze to a 7.
Rose McPhee joins us from the newsroom with that story.
And squeeze. Oh, track newsroom.
Where I had the chance to see the kids get in the Easter spirit.
B. Roll we take.
200 kids,
$200
worth of candy, and 1,000 Easter eggs. Students at Shell Elementary were in for a treat today when law students from UF came to visit. Members of the Black Law Student Association and Latino Law Student Association hosted spring activities, including egg hunts and egg relay races. Community Service Chair Abrafi Osei feels as if every kid should have the opportunity to experience Easter fun.
Kids talk about the Easter bunny, oh this and that. It's just nice for them to be able to be kids and be able to enjoy, you know, stuff that kids are able to enjoy. And so the fact that they might not have that chance at home doesn't mean they should be deprived of that if we can be able to give that to them in a community and in a setting like this. So it's important for them to still be kids while they're still kids.
K through 3 and Head Start kids were able to participate in the Spring Fling. Instructional coach Katie Robinson appreciates the help.
It's great for them to bring this back and have an increased sense of classroom community. They really get a chance to cheer each other on and build each other up. And it's a great builder of classroom family feeling.
Osei hopes the kids take away a bigger lesson from the day's festivities.
It's just a way for us to be able to like interact and hang out with the students and them to know that hey, there are a lot of school students that are people of my minority groups and stuff like that, and it's okay for them to do and want to have big things in life one day. So it's just a way for us to give back to the community in that sense.
Take.
The Law Association hopes to continue the Spring Fling for years to come.
Track studio, take. Track everyone.
An event
Studio.
dedicated to donating to children in need has its 25th birthday this weekend.
WUFT's Evan Taylor Wynn gives us that and more local entertainment happening this weekend.
Well, if you guys are interested in dancing,
track her a little higher.
Hot rides this weekend, there's plenty to do in Gainesville.
Take. And kill the anchors mics. Ready, VO out of A. Lose font. And roll I take.
Dance Marathon 25th anniversary starts
font.
tomorrow.
A little louder, Philip.
Will dance for children who
That's
can't
good.
for more than a day. This
Lose
is support
font.
of kids at UF
No, there's not.
and Children's Hospital for the Children's Miracle Network. The event is
ready, camera
open to
one.
the public, and opening ceremonies begin at 11 a.m. Saturday at the Stephen C. O'Connell Center, and closing ceremonies begin at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Take.
But
Ready,
if
font
you
2.
can't quite stay on your feet for that long, don't worry, because Gainesville has more events throughout the weekend to keep you and your family entertained.
Dissolve.
As Women's History Month comes to an end, UF organization Hurricane
Can you track her higher?
is hosting a women's empowerment
Master
event.
needs it higher.
The event is
Thank
called
you.
Get With the Times, and it'll feature body-positive activist and model Ashley Graham. You can watch the live college event at Turlington Hall this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Starting today, the Drive Florida Auto Fest will be going on. The car show is tomorrow at Celebration Point, and on Sunday, the cars will rally from Gainesville to Tampa. The event is free and ends on Sunday.
Take. Ready, B.
It's also a good weekend to hit the theaters and the box office. One Disney classic is taking on the big screen. Raphael Seth has a look at that and more in this week's box office preview.
Roll, B, take.
You'll have seen about everything.
A little higher, lose it.
Elephant fly. Disney classic Dumbo.
Boxes already. So ready, boxes, camera 3 and camera 5. Boxes 08.
Live action interpretation follows a rare
all that's dead. So ready, boxes 08, camera 3 and camera 5. Ready, ME1.
But with a big-eared baby elephant.
Sorry, 3, can you get a 2-shot?
He sold to a bigger show that may not
be 13, 14, and 15 are all dead.
Dumbo's rated PG.
No.
Lucky Lotto's cigar, would you?
Matthew McConaughey is beyond
Thank you, 3. Hold.
The Beach Bum. This one comes from Spring Breakers creator Harmony Korine. McConaughey plays Moondog, a free spirit determined to live large, but his existence is such an adventure, it's hard to tell where life begins and the drugs end. The Beach Bum is rated R.
This isn't how it was supposed to be.
None of this is how it's supposed to be.
Please don't go.
All is fair in love and war in the aftermath. This post-war drama stars
about 20 seconds in this
package.
package.
The British colonel, they moved to Germany to help rebuild Hamburg after World War II, but the home they live in is still occupied by the previous owner, a widowed Alexander Skarsgård with a taste of feelings. The aftermath expands to wide release this week. That's the box office preview.
Track the anchors.
NBC News.
Track the anchors and take.
So
ready, get ready to squeeze. Go ahead and ready, Baron 1.
A warmer weather.
Is this a sign that spring is finally here?
And
We'll
squeeze.
turn it over to
Track
forecaster
weather.
Kyle Kipple
Wait,
in the Weather
okay,
Center
hot punch
with that
anyone.
answer. Kyle?
Although spring is already here, Our weather's looking more like it. We'll be warmer the next couple days, but some April showers will be coming.
Lose
with
it
the advent
and dissolve.
of April, the 1st and 2nd, Monday and Tuesday.
Sports in the
So
monitor.
we'll be watching that. Taking a look at national radar. Pretty quiet across the country. High pressure centered stronger across
when you
our
hit the
area.
6-day
We're watching
forecast,
for a low pressure system to our
when you
west.
hit the 6-day forecast, I'll have you hit the sports tease music. Make sure you hit sports
showers and storms coming in after the weekend.
As soon as we cut back,
the
bring
weekend
in tease.
will be nice. Temperatures feeling warm in the upper 70s now at the University of Florida. Light wind out of the southeast. That wind will move more towards the south. Give us a little more of a warmer component to our wind, and that will keep temperatures warming into the mid-80s for the weekend. Still see some of those clouds out there. It will be warm going into today. 78 degrees now in Gainesville, 78 in Ocala, 77 out in Bronson. And going into the rest of the night, we'll see some of those clouds sticking around. We'll be cooling down to 60 degrees by 2 a.m. in the mid-50s by the time you wake up on Sunday. Here are the main takeaways. Beautiful weather, mid-80s. We'll have some of the showers and cooler temperatures going to start the week Monday and Tuesday. But we'll be warm going into the weekend. Temperature's going to be in the 80s. Saturday afternoon, taking a look, 84 degrees in Gainesville, 82 in Ocala. And taking a look at Sunday, warmer, 85 degrees in Gainesville. Might even get a degree or two warmer than that. We're going to keep a track on that. But we're watching the storm system as it approaches. Two different models giving two different stories to where the storm is going to go. The GFS moving some rain around the 11 to 6 p.m. hour on Monday and causing a little bit of storms mostly to our west on the morning time hours on Tuesday. But taking a look at the European model, that ramps up in the intensity of these storms is greater with this model. As these come on, we get different runs during the next couple of days. We'll have greater information to time this out as well as the intensity of it. And taking a look at Tuesday at 10 a.m. GFS didn't have this. We're still watching to see if that will develop going into Tuesday. Taking a look at the next 6 days, though, to wrap up the forecast, temperatures will be warm going into the weekend, 85 degrees on Sunday. Rain chances Monday and Tuesday, and we'll be warming back up to 80 degrees.
Track all three anchors?
Back to you.
Take. Bring in tease music.
It's
ready your next wipe and ready ME1.
But the madness is far from over for college basketball fans.
Even though Florida is no longer dancing, there are plenty of great matchups. WUFT sports anchor Jacob Lovelace has latest.
Roll your next wipe.
That's right. We'll take a look at all of last night's Sweet 16 games, plus preview what's to come for the weekend. Don't go anywhere. Sports is next.
Bump your music. Ready, black, and silence in 3, 2, 1, dissolve.
Nice. Right on the basket with you go. What's the matter there, Cedric?
Clear 2:30.
Thank you. 2:30. It's if you ready your next wipe before coming up boxes, it clears the next wipe.
I never heard of rapper out.
Good job, Phil.
You did great. Perfect. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, good job, Philip. In the monitor, Monvio out of A, or B, excuse me. This is gonna be 2 minutes, Jenny. So just so you know, this is gonna be the lots of VOs, lots of VO, like VO, then full screens, and we need nats for all of them. Okay, C19 through 22, all dead. That's Apollos, chat out, and kicker.
Right.
All gone.
Yeah.
Like forces that will be going right the 2-shot from final weather.
Yep. Okay.
You can tell them that.
Okay, so yeah, after sports is done, we're gonna go straight to the 2-shot for final weather. 1:30 to go.
Yeah, it's good to preview that for them.
So they know what's coming. Yeah.
Big 28.
So you should put a 2-shot though, right? Because then they don't know to go.
Hey Manny, is there a reason that says April 10th at 7:30? Is that us or like something special or weird?
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
The underlying thing for this
from MLB to final weather.
Mhm.
You know that there's a 2-shot. One
Yes.
minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go to 3.
Ignore me.
Kirby, did you hear me?
Was that 30 or a
No,
minute?
it's 1 minute.
Okay, a minute.
That was my bad. I was trying to.
It's 45 now.
45. Camera 2, can you zoom out a little bit? A little bit more. That's good. And then line up the monitor like you normally do. Awesome. Can we have Jacob step a little to his right? 30 seconds. Just a very slight amount to his right. A little too far. Come back some. That's good. That's good. Right there. I promise it made a difference. All right, stand by. 15 seconds. Go ahead and track red, Jenny. 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it. Roll it now. Yeah. Sorry. Rolling B. Ready B.
Another weekend of madness has arrived for basketball fans. Welcome back to sports. I'm Jacob Lovelace.
Lose it.
Sweet 16 games are underway last night, and they did not disappoint.
Dissolve.
Early in the
Fonts,
second half,
please.
Tennessee trailed
Naps,
to by
please.
18 points.
Font.
Tennessee used a 14-0 run to score back and force overtime, but in overtime, Kirby pulled away from Tennessee to advance to its first Elite Eight this century.
Roll wipe.
In the same round last year, Florida State met Gonzaga, with Florida State advancing to the Elite Eight. This year, Gonzaga got its revenge against FSU as Gonzaga handled the Noles 32-58, but finding behind double-digit performances from 4 of their players. The Zags advanced to play in the Elite Eight on Saturday. In the South region, top-seeded Virginia had to fend off a possible upset from 12th-seeded Oregon. Virginia held Oregon without a field goal for the final 5 minutes and 42 seconds of the game to win 53-49. They'll take on Purdue Saturday.
Oh, my bad.
Back in the West, third-seeded Texas Tech dominated Michigan, who beat the Florida Gators in the round of 32. The Red Raiders held the Wolverines to just 44 points, the lowest total Michigan has ever scored in the Big Dance. That defense helped the Red Raiders advance to their second straight Elite Eight, where they take on Gonzaga Saturday. The madness carries on tonight in the East region when third-seeded LSU looks to knock off second-seed Michigan State when they tip off at 7:09. Later tonight, top overall seed Duke and Zion Williamson look to advance past conference foe Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech won their last meeting when Duke superstar Zion Williamson was unable to play. They get going at 9:39. A couple of familiar opponents from the SEC look to advance as well. The SEC Conference champion Auburn Tigers battle North Carolina at 7:29, and then Kentucky plays Houston tonight at 9:59. All winners tonight will advance to the Elite Eight on Sunday. Another busy weekend of athletics in Gainesville is already well underway. Last night marked the beginning of the annual Pepsi Relays track and field competition hosted by the University of Florida. Both the Gator men's and women's track and field teams are competing this weekend against schools all across the country. Earlier today, Gator national champion Grant Holloway got his weekend off and running by winning the 110-meter hurdles with an impressive 13:28 time. Holloway didn't think it was his best race, but he was happy to get the win on his home track.
To come out here, run on my own track.
Ready, camera 2, Gator head in the monitor, lose font.
A lot of work to be done, but once one stumbles out of the blocks and hits the last hurdle, you still run 13:28. It shows a lot of potential.
The Pepsi Relays continue tomorrow beginning at 11 a.m. Elsewhere, it'll be a busy weekend for the Florida Gators. Tomorrow marks the start of American Athletic Conference play for the 17th ranked Florida Gators lacrosse team. Florida travels to Temple looking for their third win in a row.
Ready, camera 2, MLB in the monitor.
On campus tonight, the second-ranked Florida Gators men's tennis team is just underway at the Ring Tennis Complex as they host the LSU Tigers. The Florida Gator baseball team looks to change the tide in conference play. Florida has gone 1-5 through the first 2 weeks of SEC ball.
Camera 1, work on a beauty shot while we're finishing up here.
Tied at 6:30. And after a slow start in the SEC, the 6th-ranked Gator softball team looks to improve their 2-4 conference record tonight when they begin a 3-game set at Ole Miss. And finally, Major League Baseball began yesterday all across the league. And for Gator fans, familiar faces were all across the league. Nobody had a better start than former Gator and Cardinals center fielder Harrison Bader. In his first at-bat, he sent a laser far into the upper deck for his first home run of the year. Bader finished the day 2 for 3 at the plate, but the Cardinals fell 5-4. 6 other Gators made opening day rosters. Peter Alonso and Richie Martin made their big league debut for the Mets and the Orioles, respectively. Catcher Mike Zunino began his 7th big league season and his first season with the Tampa Bay Rays. Anthony DeSclafani will get the start on the mound for the Reds on Monday. Southpaw Brian Johnson begins the year in the bullpen for the defending World Series champs, the Boston Red Sox, and Darren O'Day starts the year on the Atlanta Braves disabled list.
Track anchors,
Thanks, Jacob. And before we go,
track weather,
Some of this cloud's still out there. It'll be increasing as we go through the rest of the afternoon for your Friday. 77 degrees in Gainesville with that wind, slowing down as we go through the rest of the evening hours. We'll be having increasing clouds. Temperatures dropping to the lower 60s through the overnight hours. Here's the weekend forecast. Saturday dry and warm in the lower 80s. Sunday even warmer. More of that cloud cover as a cold front approaches on Monday. And then cool and wet conditions for Monday. Temperatures 69 degrees. That's where we can start seeing some of those showers move back into the area. Great weekend though for plenty of sunshine, and get out there before the rain starts again next week. Back to you for the rest of the show.
Oh no, take.
Thanks, Kyle. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming
Ready,
up.
one.
Our news team will bring you another show Monday at 5. Florida News is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.
Dissolve. Yeah.
You still have 30 seconds.
Router 2. I know. Weather wrap too early. Dissolve. Ready, font 2. Dissolve.
10, 9,
Ready, black.
8, 7, 6,
and
5, 4, 3, 2,
dissolve.
1.
Sorry about that, Maddie.
You're good.
He ended about 15 seconds early. Made us jump.
No, you're good. I was just making sure you know.
Yeah, thank you.